Where are you off to next? I feel like you haven't even been in this country. They're gonna start.
Touchdown, spin it round, go again. I'm off tomorrow.
Are you actually?
Yeah.
Where are you going?
I'm off to Malta.
Oh,
I'm playing a show there on Friday night.
Nice.
that's where you got married.
It is, and the show is on the 1 year anniversary of the wedding.
That
So
is
it's
sick.
like a perfect excuse to go back, actually go and enjoy Malta, because every time we went before the wedding, it was like, oh my gosh, we have to make sure everything's in order and we're looking at stuff, we're busy. We're not like chilling out, enjoying Malta. And then the wedding was a busy time again to be there for us. So we're actually looking forward to going and back and actually chilling out, exploring, enjoying the place, but also it's a nice like excuse to go back.
What is it? A festival that you're playing at?
It's an outdoor club called Gianpula Main Room. It looks pretty cool. You can pull up a picture. It looks like
Pull
a bit
it
of
up,
a.
Prod.
You know
bit
what?
of a
This is
vibe.
this is definitely the one.
Like Pula. Gianpula.
Say it again.
Gianpula. Gianpula.
Got you.
Yeah, and it looks like a proper spot. It's like their summer closing party. And I'm
Sick.
jumping on the
You're
ones
jumping
and
on
twos.
it. You know what? This is the one thing that I
Quite
do think. Oh wow, that does look fucking sick.
Yeah,
I
actually.
think I met a guy in America who showed me a picture of this.
Apparently, it's the spot. It's the spot in Malta. So
Yeah.
That does look good though.
yeah,
That looks sick. So wait, are you? Where do you rank in the lineup on this?
I'm the headline.
You're the headline. Fucking
for
hell.
for this night.
See, stuff like this is the part where I get a little bit jealous of this because you just get to travel. You get to call
it's nice
it.
to have a reason
Yeah.
to travel. Yeah, it's nice to go somewhere and like not only do I get to enjoy and experience this place, but also I feel like when I've been traveling, doing shows and like supporting on shows, you actually meet a lot of people from the place, that's one of my favorite bits. It's like you see kind of the behind the scenes of the show, the people working there, the people that live there. I think it gives you a really different experience where sometimes you go on holiday somewhere really nice and you kind of sit in your hotel for a few days and you're like, I feel like I haven't been to the place. I've
Got
just
you.
been somewhere nice.
to a
whatever.
nice hotel in the place.
So
That's a fair
Yeah,
point.
there we go.
So is there anyone else playing on the night that you are as well?
there's some good local
Yeah.
DJs who are
That's so sick. I have to ask with and I wanted to talk about a lot of the DJ stuff anyways. What has been like the best show or best experience that you've had? Because you've been to a few festivals now, certainly a few shows.
That's a tough call. Probably the first festival moment was in Norway with Alan Walker just about a month and a half ago. And we did played back to back during his set.
That's crazy.
And that crowd was like mental. Again, I'm telling you, they're getting on it. You're seeing like every drop, there's a different mosh pit. There's like people going into the middle of the mosh pits, getting thrown in the air and doing backflips. And the set was at like 7 p.m. Oh no, actually the set was I think 9 p.m. and that was closing, I think at 9 p.m.
Jeez.
But like from 7 p.m. people can't walk and the energy's just absurd. So yeah, that was probably like the sickest experience because like clubs are like one thing and like even like doing like I've done like tour shows, but then like festival in
It's a different
Norway
beast.
is like another level in the summer. So
What are the after parties to these things like?
that's a good question. There weren't any. A lot of them don't have after parties. Actually, a lot of the DJs I'm friends with are surprisingly responsible, and they're like, "Right, I'm off to bed."
Fairs?
And
To be fair, when you're doing
With
that
our
many
schedules,
shows, I
yeah.
feel
Knackered.
like
and a lot of them
tired.
also fly to the next show the night of the show.
Oh,
so I don't know
shit.
if you saw the post I did, but like I saw my flight home got cancelled from the Norwegian festival. There was no way home until the evening of the next day. And then Steve Aoki turned up and he was like, I'm playing 2 shows tonight. Do you want to come to Spain for the next show? So I jumped on his private jet, flew to Malaga, and he played a festival in Norway at like 6 p.m., got on the plane, flew to Spain, landed at midnight, and then played another festival at 4 a.m. Built
what?
different.
Oh wait, so 6 p.m. Oh my god! So within like
Genuinely,
7-8 hours, he's
like
played 2.
headlining 2 festivals in 2 different countries in Europe in the same night. And then I was like, this is ridiculous. And he was like, yeah, sometimes we do 3 because if you do one early in Europe, then another late in Europe, then you fly to the East Coast, you land at a similar time that you take off if you're on a jet, you can play another show. So I mean, theoretically, you could do four.
getting-
You could do 4 festivals in the same night if you just kept flying west.
Oh my god! So
It's
I mean,
absurd.
that's how these guys really print their money, though, right? Because
Yeah.
obviously, like the economics of it all is like, okay, you get a few big tunes,
Mm-hmm.
like that always helps. That keeps the bank account ticking over. But the money's in the shows, right?
live, yeah,
And
yeah.
and because these guys can literally do so
much as
many,
they can
almost
travel.
is it a year-round thing? Or is it summer
100%,
mainly?
different countries have different seasons, different
Yeah.
holidays. They can do it, like if they wanted to, they do it round the clock. And also, summer's different. Summer in Australia,
Right.
It's a different time to summer in Europe. So like,
So there's always a summer for these
yeah.
guys.
And like-
And they're always in the sunshine.
And I guess, obviously they're not singing for the most part as well. So as long
Yeah.
as they can keep that body ticking, like
That's
and
it.
playing them buttons, they're
Yeah.
good. Like
Yeah.
they ain't got to worry about voice fucking giving up halfway through the tour or anything.
yeah, I mean, it's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although one thing I have experienced as well with a lot of shows is it can actually be physically exhausting, the heat and the humidity.
Oh, the heat,
Outdoor
yeah.
shows. I did the Southeast Asia tour with Alan Walker, and we did Indonesia, which was outdoors. And it's like even in the evening, it's like 33 degrees with humidity. And
And you still are somewhat performing on stage
Yeah, you
instead
still-
of like
you got-
jumping
yeah, you
around.
still
Like
wanna move
you're still
around.
active on stage.
yeah,
right?
yeah, 100%. And it is just warm.
What are the Asian crowds like compared to the Europeans? Because I've never been to a festival or any sort of show in Asia before, and I have a vision of what in my head it's a lot more like calm and respectful, just because of the way their culture is. But what are they
Depends where you
like?
go, actually.
Okay.
So it was interesting. In Indonesia, I was caught massively off guard because they don't really have a big drinking culture. It's quite a heavily Muslim country. They
Oh, I
weren't
was going to
serving
say, it must
alcohol.
just be cocaine then, but I guess not.
I told you about. I said this on Sidecast when we landed from the plane. It said anyone caught entering this country with illegal substances will be subject to execution.
Whoa.
That's what I woke up to.
Chiven just not taking the risk.
That was a serious wake up call. I'm like, I never have had illegal substances. Let me check my pocket and my bag.
Nah, because imagine, let's say the other day you were at Reading Festival and something
And
was
you
in your
leave
back
some-
pocket.
You're
That
fucked.
you
Happens all the time to other people.
People did correct
Not
in
to
the
me.
comment section. They said, "Oh, if you're a traveler and it's not intent to supply, you'll be able to bribe your way out of it." But hey, look, I'm not
not
gonna
Who
do
wants
that.
to?
I
You
am
don't
not
even want to
taking-
be in that spot, Brad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't.
Hey, look, I got 100 quid here. Don't chop me head off.
Please don't jump.
Please, mate. Please.
Can we find a middle ground? What's halfway there?
Fucking take a finger.
Yeah, so they were actually, it was a very different kind of experience. And when I was playing, it's my first time playing in front of a crowd that big and also supporting someone else.
How
in
big
that
was the
way.
crowd?
I think it was like 6,000 or 7,000 people in Indonesia. And at some points I was like, oh no, they hate me. They hate me
because you can't
it's
really
not-
tell.
But I think also alcohol's that it changes people's perception. You become less aware of what other people think of you. I think you do let go a bit more again. Have I come on this podcast to push alcohol? I hope not.
Yeah,
I'm like
yeah.
the opposite of every other podcast. We don't really, drinking's just, so last year, like we're all healthy now. You don't need it to have fun. But if we do,
But unless you're at
If we-
a Vixstar show, then you need to
Get on
fucking
it, have a
drown in it.
bet. No, but if you dive into the psychology, it's like, people aren't thinking about how they appear to other people. So it was much more of a kind of like listening and like singing along and kind of like bobbing to the music. And actually, I was relieved when I saw them watching Alan set after me, and they've come to an Alan Walker show and they're showing the same. And you can see that they're still like smiling and singing along, but it's a different level of movement. And if you look back, you're like, hang on, what's going on? So
Yeah.
that was like one side of the coin. And then there was a festival in South Korea. And that crowd was one of the most mental crowds I've ever seen. Like, they're like rocking the railings, like going. But again, South Korea has a big drinking
Yeah.
And party
They
culture.
get
healthy
smashed.
party.
You went there,
drinking
didn't you?
culture.
I did.
You
and
said
they-
it was class.
They
On your
love it.
ones, right?
Yeah, I went on
Respect
my
it.
own. It was fucking
On the sesh.
Yeah, I just go out and just try and meet people on the night out and be like, "Yo, let's go out, man."
And people were well up for it.
Every time I went out, I'd end up with a different group, and they'd stay with me till like 4 in the
Were they
morning.
friendly, or was it just
Yeah,
the way
yeah.
that you have the gift of the gab?
I think they're friendly. I don't know. It could be both, but I'm sure they're friendly people.
It's very
Yeah.
approachable.
He
Yeah,
is.
yeah,
He is
yeah.
a very approachable person.
I love that for you, though.
You just got to go there, sit at the bar, pretend you're like a lonely drinker, and then someone will come up to you, and then bang. That's it.
That
It's
is
normally a
one thing
bloke
you
as
do
well.
see- that is one thing you do see in Asia. You'll walk past a bar and you'll see someone like passed out at the bar.
Yeah.
And that's seen as actually, it's like a different culture thing. It's like, hey, you worked really hard.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so
So
you
it's fine.
yeah.
You've had a drink and you've fallen asleep. But it's also like
Bit thoughts.
anywhere out in the West, someone would check on that person.
Yeah.
Now they're just carrying on drinking. There's someone like,
They'd be like, nah, he's a
He was
boss,
hustling
man.
today. Let him be.
Yeah. That's it's so interesting how the two different
Yeah, so
other
you see,
cultures are
yeah, and
so
then
different.
Singapore was kind of in the middle. Like
Okay.
they were serving alcohol. It was in an expo center. It was like a different room, but kind of worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you were telling me that, well, Alan Walker in particular, and probably yourself now that you've been out there quite a bit, has a really big fan base over in Asia to the point where you actually don't even realize it. You know, like he's a big enough name here,
Yeah.
but unless you're actually in Asia, he's like a superstar there.
Massively. Yeah. Yeah. Huge following. I think it's like the melodies.
Right.
It's like
He just
people
got
love his
that
music for
Asian
those good.
Twang.
What the melodies have an Asian.
Yeah,
I don't think they do. I think they have a universal.
Okay.
Universal. Whereas like if it's like a singer, I feel like people connect with the lyrics a lot. Whereas I think he has, quite easy to understand lyrics and really catchy melodies. So people,
They gravitate
it's done
towards
really
that.
well out there. Yeah, and I think his team have done a great job of like working with the right people out there, doing good shows out there.
Yeah.
So I think the whole of electronic music is way bigger. It blows my mind because like EDM is huge in Asia, it's huge in North America. Like we go to Vegas and everything is EDM, and then in the UK it's all the subgenres.
Yeah.
It's not that
House.
Yeah, it's the house,
Techno.
the tech house, the drum and bass, the techno,
Yeah.
but the actual like the kind of call it commercial EDM just doesn't exist.
Have you heard of okay, so I went to Mykonos. I actually texted you when I was in Mykonos because I was thinking, nah, you got to be one of them DJs that comes to like here, you do like Saint-Tropez, like all the
They're cool.
rich,
They're so
little
cool.
Yeah,
They're so-
yeah.
I watch these DJs. I'm like, you're so cool.
Like Adam Port, that sort of guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm watching, I'm thinking, nah, I need to text Vic
I
here.
know.
And I did, but there was one band, not band, sorry, DJ group.
Yeah.
Is there a word for a DJ group?
Duo, trio.
Trio? Yeah, we could
Sounds
go
like
with that.
Fortnite.
Yeah. How are we queuing
What
up?
do you call Swedish House Mafia? Like they're
Yeah, they're a group.
Trio.
Yeah.
They're a trio, right?
Yeah, fine.
Give me a-
Anyways, this DJ, kind of music.
He's killing.
Is that one guy or is it? Because every time I see him
one- I
DJing,
believe it.
there's a couple of them there.
Who? What's this?
I think it's a couple
What's it
of
called?
them.
I thought it was one guy, but hey, I'm not in that
space.
Sub.
Yeah,
like,
but that's what I was
know-
just
I know
thinking.
the
Like
name.
these guys or that person is
genuinely,
blowing
I see all
up.
these videos like Ibiza house, like you're so cool.
Yeah,
But I and even when I was at like I saw Fisher at Veld in Toronto when I was there like 2 weeks ago. I'm like, this music is so damn cool.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I could start playing it, but it's not what I love.
Yes.
And I'm trying to really just stick to what I love because I'm doing this because I enjoy it, not if I wanted to become the highest paid YouTuber DJ,
Yeah.
I'm sure like I would change my style 3 times over, but I'm trying to, and also I want to play stuff that I know about and stuff that I enjoy.
Yeah.
So it's like, but yeah, you're right. It's so cool. But also I don't think I could be that cool. These guys, they barely move.
It's an aura, bro. It's
They
a
have
crazy
so much,
aura.
or they barely move.
I've
They've got
never
like the
seen
shades
these
on,
guys. I
and
need
it's
to
just
see
like,
them.
I'm just like, I'm not. That's not me. Like,
Can
I
you
wanna-
type in a picture
Type
just
one
so
in, I
Chip
just
can
wanna
see him?
see.
Kinda.
Wanna see what you guys
type in
talking
Kine.
Yeah.
K
Very German spelling.
Kiene.
Exactly how the Germans would spell it.
Yeah, there
There
you
you
go.
go.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, if you go to images,
Oh, mate,
you need
is a
to-
group. Yeah.
yeah. So
Oh,
yeah,
I've seen. Yeah.
you know,
Oh, it's a
yeah.
group
of
So the guy in the
very
middle
cool-
always wears that scarf over the head, and it's become like a thing now.
I noticed Medusa, one of the guys from Medusa. I met him, and he's always
Adam
wearing a
Port's in
scarf
that.
around his head.
Yeah.
I'm like, that seems really difficult, but it's just like a unique look.
Yeah, it is, and it's popping.
Oh, is
off
it one
right
guy?
now.
This is the guy in it, Adam Port. The one I
Okay,
was
so it
saying
is a
about.
group then. Yeah,
He did a show in Finsbury Park the other week. It looked unbelievable.
yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of very, very cool dance music right now. But honestly, I'm not trying to do cool music. I'm
yeah.
like, I can't hide my emotions when I'm having fun. Like you guys came to my show in Ministry, like
Yeah.
I've got a big smile on my face.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
grinning
loving
away,
it,
jumping
hands up,
around.
all that shit.
But that's what I want to stick to doing, and it's difficult to do because music EDM is so trendy. It's like everyone, like someone makes something that's seen as cool, and everyone is making that for the next 4 or 5 months, and like
Yeah.
I'm just trying to go the opposite way, which isn't theoretically smart, but it's the way I enjoy doing it. So
Yeah.
I'm just kind of fumbling my way through, just seeing what happens. No
I
real
like that.
It's better to do it that way, to be fair.
Yeah.
Always do
Yeah.
what you enjoy.
Yeah, totally. And then I asked you about your sort of like favorite gig that you've done. Now, obviously, when you were starting out, my favorite one, yeah.
Yeah,
And
the debut.
No. It wasn't the debut. My
Okay.
favorite one, and I don't know if either of you boys has seen a clip from this, yeah, but it went viral on TikTok, semi-viral on TikTok. Is the
Drum and
Boo
bass.
when
That
you
was-
came
that
out
was
for
fun.
Boo? So Boo's a drum and bass artist. Do you know
but
this one?
I do know this one.
Yeah.
I remember.
Can you get the video?
I
Type
think
in
I
Vic
messaged-
Star
It's on my
Boo.
TikTok.
I think
I think.
after that, I messaged you a drum and bass tune. Like,
Well, it's
on-
funny
I
because it was
like-
a meme coming to
Yeah.
life.
BOU.
'Cause everyone had been
There you
taking
go.
my other sets.
Yes.
Where I'm playing like 128 BPM.
I
and
remember this going on
editing
TikTok.
Filthy drum and bass edits over it. So I think that was like why he like pulled me in for it.
Yeah, everyone was doing
Yeah.
like a bit of a meme thing. Yeah, you're right, putting that stuff. And look, by the way, that set is so cool. An old Nokia phone,
Because it's got the Nokia Rhythm remix as well.
mate.
that is sick.
And then,
was
so
gas.
when you're in here, and I'm telling you, the tunes that you were spinning here
Phil,
were so
I still have
good.
them all on my USB, and I'm like, I can't. I'm gonna make people upset, like, because you have to be there to listen to that.
Yeah.
To play that.
You also, you got to be
Yeah.
like signed up for a drum and bass night to
Yeah, yeah.
enjoy it. It's not one of
Yeah,
of
if you
those.
put that on at one of your normal shows, people be
Genuinely,
pissed.
I was looking at some of it for Malta, and like, I even got close to that, and I was like,
No,
it's not.
It was epic,
not-
though.
not gonna run.
Yeah, well, it could run, but it's like,
It won't be the right vibe.
yeah, I don't. It'd be, and the only way you'd find out is by playing it.
Yeah.
And if you've
So
played
you're taking
it,
a massive risk.
You're
Could just
in
be
there.
one of them ones where everyone's looking at
Is
you.
this
like,
night
what
that
the
you're
fuck?
doing an EDM night?
yeah, it's gonna, yeah, effectively. Well, I should.
He's going to make it an EDM night. Like,
I mean, every time I played at Ministry with you guys, it's been like student hip hop nights, and
Yeah.
I'll come in and
just spin EDM.
just play what I like to play, and it's so far so good.
been
I'm
going
yet
good.
to have. I think every.
Have you had a stinker?
No, I think every DJ is due a disaster, and it will happen eventually. But
Yeah.
I'm waiting.
I will be there no matter what.
Yeah?
I will be the number one hater in the crowd, booing the loudest.
I'll be
It's
clapping.
scary as well because now with like social media, people would rather watch a clip of people not enjoying your music than
Yeah.
a clip of people enjoying your music. So even if I drop one or two songs that people aren't really vibing with, because I'm just trying to read the room and style it out, that could go up, and then all the comments are like, "Nah,
Nah, this
like,
stinks."
like an example.
Like, who's going to a Vic Star show, bro?
No,
and it's like, no.
I had one. So when I was supporting Alan Walker, I've got I remixed one of my tracks with the a cappella for "Don't You Worry, Child."
Yeah.
Worked really well. I'm like, this is sick. Something I've made. I can put the vocal for "Don't You Worry, Child," which I had to spend weeks trying to track down the actual vocal track because no one has it. And got it, put it together. I'm like, okay, this is great. And I'm like, this is such a classic tune. For the second drop, I'm just going to play the original because it's so good. It's timeless. Like everyone in Asia is going to know it. It's not my show as well. I'm like playing for a crowd that have come to see someone else.
Yeah.
So I'm going to play it, played it. It went off. It was a great moment. Like they team did the lighting really well. Like they blacked out all the lighting, the guitars playing. It's great. So it got clipped and put on TikTok, and all the comments are like, "Wow, bro just does a Spotify set. I could have turned on my Spotify if I wanted to hear this." And like I played 36 songs in this set, and 1 minute of it is an original record that I want to play because it's a good original record.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, it's got like 1 million views on TikTok. Wow, why would you turn up to watch him play something you can hear on Spotify?
That's fucking
And it's
class.
just like that's the way it goes. Like,
Yeah, you just
have to
gotta
roll
accept
with
it, yeah.
roll with the punches, have fun.
Yeah.
And
But
so-
it's hard because I have like the worst imposter syndrome doing it because I really
course.
enjoy it, but just the way everything gets consumed and spun online, it's like you have to like stay away from it sometimes.
Do you ever
Yeah.
think you'll get over that imposter syndrome, or is there a certain thing that might happen that
fresh
will
one.
help you get over that?
I think just with time, like we probably all felt it when we started YouTubing, started podcasting, anything. When you're doing something new, and you do have to learn. And I think it's for anyone that transitions, it's even more difficult to learn because you're hyper-analyzed by millions of people. Most people, when they start like mixing, they can do it for, in a small room of people who aren't going to try and attack them if it goes wrong.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whereas like every time I play it, it's like over 1,000 people. And all it takes is 10 people in that crowd really not to like me, and they'll put it up online, and then you just have to kind of move past it.
Yeah.
It's a weird dynamic. Everything's like merging.
I want to ask about DJs getting paid, because one of the biggest things, I think it comes out every single year, is I forget the publication to do it, but it's a DJ one, and they always do like top 10 highest earning DJs.
Yeah.
And obviously you're somebody that is a lot closer to, you know, any of these guys in the top 10. How much money are the top DJs actually earning on a per show basis? Because, you know, like you said, if these guys can knock out 3 in a day, you know, obviously that's an extreme example, but, you know, they can do 1 a day for the entire summer.
Yep.
Are we talking about genuinely sort of like 150 grand a show, or is it usually about like 20 to 50?
It varies.
Because I swear there was one number going around, sorry, quickly, that Calvin Harris was earning like $1 million a show.
I'm sure there are like certain shows where top DJs will get like close to close to $1 million. That I would say is super rare. And it has to be like, and it fluctuates, right? There'll be like, you release back-to-back #1 hits in a certain country, and then in that country, the promoters are gonna say, tell me the amount you want.
Yeah.
And then there'll be other festivals where, you know, it's like they're not as big in that territory, and they'll say, look, we're offering you way less, but it's a chance to get in front of this audience. And so it varies massively. Like anything from like 50K up to like 500K for top DJs they can earn. And then like sometimes they'll even do sections of like touring where they lose money. But it's about getting in front of that audience. They're like, look, we can go and do all these shows in America. We're going to break even or lose money. But it's about being in front of these people in this country, showing, hey, I can sell tickets here. So then when next year comes around, you can hopefully start charging crazy prices. But the economy of it is a bit... So it's all over the place. It's a bit mad.
And because we also spoke about you releasing your own songs, and that has gone well. And one of the things that you had said is that you kind of only need 2 or 3 songs to get to a certain level, to the point where they're just played frequently throughout time, and you're not set for life, because that sounds a bit extreme, but like it is just an incredible bit of residual income that comes in. Is that still the case now that you've sort of been through the process?
I would say so, but I think it's harder now. I think big songs drop off much quicker because there's just so much more competition. Like the culture moves so fast. Like what is trendy in music, it would have been like, oh, this sound is great for a year, everyone loves it. But now it's like 2 months, and then we're finished with that. This sound is the one you need to go for.
That's so true. So actually, I didn't think about
everything's moving faster, and it's like also social media does it. It's like the labels used to be able to steer, and the labels and the radios could steer and say, no, we like these artists making this sound. This is doing well for us. It's keeping our listeners up. Let's keep this going for a year. But now it's TikTok. You see, people can blow up out of nowhere with a completely new sound.
FYP controls kind of what's going on a little bit.
But then it's like the labels, they're getting smart to that now, so they know how to play those games as well.